He is 20 to 1. What more do people want than an SBW 20 to 1 nap?
This is it. Welcome back to the Let's Talk Racing YouTube channel in association with Racing TV for our final day-by-day Cheltenham Festival preview. We've spent all year talking about this festival, and this is going to be the last video we're going to do previewing it. It's quite sad. It is quite sad, but I'm looking forward to it. We're going to talk about the Triumph Hurdle, the County Hurdle, the Albert Bartlett, the Gold Cup, the Fox Hunters, the Mayor's Chase, and the Martin Pipe 7 races. I traditionally have a terrible record on the Friday. How's yours?
Not too bad. It goes fits and starts, but the last couple of years I've had a few decent days on the Friday as well. So fingers crossed that'll be a good way to finish off the week this time round, and good for you to obviously advertise our videos by saying that you have a woeful record on the Friday.
Well, I seem to have a woeful record on the Friday. Other than 1 year, I backed Defi de Soy, I backed Arctic Fire, who won the County and the Triumph Hurdle, and then I backed Rather Be in the Martin Pipe, who was 10 to 1, came down at the first, and then won at Aintree. It was absolutely brutal. I did it in a treble as well. I must have been 16, 17, put a treble on my mum's phone. Responsible gambling. And then previously, I've had a terrible record. Historically, I've not had a great Friday, but hopefully we can turn that around here. If you do enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and do get your comments down below. What are you backing on the Friday? We want to know. All 7 races, get them down in the comments, and we will be looking forward to replying to those. And also, if this is the first time you've seen us on your screen, do subscribe. We want to hit 17,500 subscribers by the time the Cheltenham Festival rolls around. We're up against it, but you can help massively. The first race is the Triumph Hurdle Trial, and we've got 3 Willie Mullins horses at the top: Blood Destiny, Gala Marceau, and Lossiemouth. Are you going to side with one of them?
Yes.
Which one?
Lossiemouth for me. I've kept the faith, even though she was beaten in the Dublin Racing Festival. A lot went against her that day, as being, very much identified by plenty of people behind Gala Marceau. I would back her to be able to turn that form around. And you have to remember Blood Destiny's having to give them £7. And I know people will throw that, fillies record in the Triumph Hurdle in my face, but, you don't have very many fillies that go into the race like the Lossiemouths and Gala Marceaus of the world that are that good, I think it's between the top 3 in the market. There's a few decent horses in there at bigger prices, but I can't see them troubling the winner's enclosure, personally speaking, and I think Lossiemouth has the edge. Blood Destiny has been kind of the hype horse. He's been the talking horse of the preview night panels and centres. If you've been on at a big price, wouldn't put you off in the slightest, but I think if you were taking the exact same price between Lossiemouth and Blood Destiny, I'd be on Lossiemouth all day.
I'm going to take all 3 on. It might be a terrible thing to do, but I'm going to back Comfort Zone at 10 to 1 each way. I just don't see... Well, I do see a world, but I think he's going to run a massive race, and I do think he'll place at minimum. And then I do think he's got a chance of winning. What he did in the Triumph Hurdle Trial was good. I think he had more in hand. And I would just wonder if 1 or 2 of the mares could potentially bomb out. And Blood Destiny, not really. We've not seen him... Obviously, he beat Nosret very far. He went on to win the Adonis. But we've not seen him in a proper battle. Maybe he might just be really good, but I think Comfort Zone will be ridden to place, and he could pick up the pieces if things were to go wrong with the main contenders. The following race is the County Hurdle, an ultra-competitive handicap. I'm going to go with what I know best, and that is Dan Skelton and Pembroke at 8 to 1 each way.
So, sorry, you're taking on the 3 Willie Mullins horses in the Triumph, and now you're going back to Dan Skelton and the County Hurdle, and you wonder why you're having poor Fridays.
When you put it like that, I do think I probably need to probably look at myself thoroughly. I
agree with you on this one, though, to be fair. I'll let you take the floor.
So you do?
I think he's got a chance, yeah.
So he gives it out, and then...
Well, Comfort Zone has got absolutely no chance. Honestly, I don't know why on earth you've put that horse.
I like Comfort Zone. I think he's a good horse. County Hurdle, I like Pembroke. I think what he did this, he's been a bit of a... Nearly horse, yeah. He's obviously won 2 lower grade races very well, and then went to the 2.5 mile race behind Rock My Way, who, to be honest... I would worry that's not the greatest form in the world. Like Mufasa was 3rd, Henry II was beaten a mile. I don't think that form's very good, but what he did in the race was what's encouraged me. He travelled through it like a really good horse. I think he'd stay 2-2, 2-3. I'm just not sure he stays 2.5, which I think you need to stay in this race and travel. He does that. Dan Skelton is the master of the County Hurdle. He's won it 3 times. I think that Pembroke could be a fourth, and 8-1 I think is a fair price. Obviously, you've got the likes of Willie Mullins horses in there. Hunter's Yarn, could he run? Could he go to the Supreme? He might be the grade 1 horse running in a handicap here, but he's off 147. I think that's pretty fair, personally. Sharjah in there, the old boy. If he was to roll back the years, his mark is probably workable. But for me, I'm going to take on Filer Bay at the top. I think he may have just been unlucky the last day, and that was his race. I'm going to back Pembroke at 8-1.
Yeah, no, I can see that point. I can see you probably taking on Filey Bay as well. I was very keen on him for the Betfair Hurdle. I think that may have been his day, though. You know, they were a mile clear, and he's obviously been given a relative hike for that. I quite liked 2 at prices in this. I'm going to back Winter Fog, whatever race he runs in, whether it's going to be the County Hurdle or the Coral Cup. I think he's got a chance. I know he's off 152, but I reckon Kieran Callahan will ride him, take £7 off him, and then he's back into the mid-140s. I think he's got a bit of speed, bit of class. So he's 12-1 for this race. But my main one for the County Hurdle will be Colonel Mustard. Actually, third in the race last year behind Stateman and First Street. I don't see any Stateman or First Street in this race. You know, I don't see anything that's going to be a... Well, Stateman's a 170 horse now. First Street is a 155, 156 horse. I don't think there's anything lurking like that. He's a strong traveller. Although there was a really encouraging run at Kelso last week in the Moor Battle. I thought they may be out for a spin that day, just, you know, to improve his confidence. He had 2 relatively average performances over fences, back over hurdles, and I like the fact that the County Hurdle isn't his first run back over hurdles. He travelled really sweetly, maybe just gave out a little bit fitness-wise, and as a result, I hope that may have sharpened him up. My only nagging thing with him is maybe he's not the most robust in a finish, but I really think he'll run a big race. I'm very surprised if he doesn't tank through the race. I think at 14-1, he's a very good each-way price.
12 months ago, you backed a horse at 50-1 in the Albert Bartlett, and he finished third. He placed. It was a great bet. Who are you going to back in this year?
Yeah, tough race again. I've put up Xander Clegane earlier on in the Antipose series at 25-1. He's currently half that price.
What about Wrexham?
He's 12 now. Wrexham also put up in the Antipose series at 33-1. I think you can back at 3,003,001 now. I still wouldn't have a chance. That one was one of the poor ones, unfortunately. That was not one of the absolute greats. But Xander Clegane goes there with a small chance. 12-1, I wouldn't put anyone off having a few each-way pennies on him. I think he's vulnerable from a win perspective, and I think the one really to be wary of is this Corbett's Cross. I think he just could be a cut above these. I was really impressed with him at Naas the other day. I know that was over 2 miles, but found a 50's a good horse.
They're going to run?
I think they'll run. Yeah, I don't see any reason why they won't run, to be honest. I don't know what else they'd be waiting for, to be honest. He's proved himself over 3 miles. He's won a 2.5 mile bumper. He's now won over 2 miles. I think this horse is just a really, really good horse. And at 7-2, I wouldn't be, turning my nose up at him, to be honest. Between him and Xander, that's the way I'd play the race.
The 2 bits of form that I like, well, the 1 bit of form I like is the Clonmel race with Hidden Valley Lake, Monty Star, and Search for Glory. I'm not going to back any of them, though. I just think the market has found them. I think they're pretty fair prices. I think the one that could be slightly overlooked, if you're looking at bumper form, is Seabank Bistro, who is 22-1. I'm going to back him each way, small each way play. But he finished 4th in the bumper last year. He's obviously taken a bit of time to get used to his hurdles. He won relatively workmanlike the last day, but he did win over hurdles. It took him 3 times. I just think a step up in trip will suit him, and you can't write him off in the slightest. He's 22-1. I think that is a little bit of value. He might be 16-1, 14-1 on the day. Now it's time for the big race, the Cheltenham Gold Cup, the feature of the week, and this is going to be a head over heart moment, I think, for me, because I'm in love with Brave Man's Game. We both really like Brave Man's Game, but Galopin Des Champs is at the head of the market. He's 15-8. Is 15-8 the right price, and is he going to win?
I think it is the right price, and I do think he is going to win.
Strong.
Yeah. I just think there's, a lot of people love to overcomplicate the uncomplicated, and you look at these Cheltenham preview nights going around, I don't think a single person's put up Galopin Des Champs. It's wise guy after wise guy after wise guy. Conflated's got a chance, Brave Man's Game has a chance, Noble Yates will win the race, Statler will win the race. The best horse in the race is the favourite. And, it's a simple case of, I think, if he jumps well, he wins. I have no issues about stamina. I have no issues about the course. He's obviously won a Martin Pipe. He should have won the Turners last year by a furlong, if not coming down at the last. So you've no issues with all of that. It's just simply, can he jump well in a good rhythm? And from what he's done in the John Durkin this year and the Irish Gold Cup this year, I wouldn't have any issues on that score as well. 15-8. People are crabbing their nose at it, saying it's a poor price. I actually think it's a very good price.
Wow, 15-8, a good price in the Gold Cup. I agree. I think Galopin Des Champs is going to win the Gold Cup. I think 15-8 is a price I'm willing to get stuck into. I'm going to put a question to you. If Galopin Des Champs was to have a stone bruise on the morning, let's just say, who are you backing? Who's his biggest danger? Is it Brave Man's Game? Is it Statler? Is it last year's winner, Appelutard? Is it Conflated?
I think it is between Brave Man's Game and Conflated.
Okay.
Those would be the two I'd be fearful of. I think those two will run really big races. Conflated has gone in under the radar. I was really impressed with him at Christmas time. Brave Man's Game, everyone just loves to throw stones at him because he won the King George. They think he's a flat track horse, won't stay. I don't think he won't stay. I don't know about Cheltenham. Obviously, he's ran there once as a novice hurdler. That was years ago. He's a much more mature, much more robust horse now. Can't have Statler myself. I think Noble Yates will be too outpaced. Ahoy Seigneur doesn't jump well enough for my money. So I'd have those two as my main dangers to Galopin.
I'm going to say something. I will be backing Galopin Des Champs. I will have a little each way bet on Brave Man's Game as well, just because I love the horse.
Yeah, of course.
If Brave Man's Game is in front of Galopin Des Champs jumping the last, I couldn't care where Galopin Des Champs finishes. I will just be hoofing Harry Cobden up that hill. Go on, son. Go and win your Gold Cup on a horse that just won't stay. He's a flat track bully. It would be a brilliant moment.
I would even enjoy that to a certain extent because I hate, and you're a bigger Brave Man's Game fan than me, but I'm probably high enough up in liking the horse, and he just gets pelters from everybody.
He does.
He wins Grade 1s like they're running out of fashion.
It's the BMG. What a horse he is. The following race is the Fox Hunters Chase, and probably form that we don't follow religiously throughout the year. Last year I put up Vorsley at 33-1 for the race. He didn't end up running, and now he's 9-4 favourite. Brilliant. Have I had a bet on him? No. So really, really happy with that. But I will be backing him on the day. He's 9-4. I think he's the best horse in the race. I think he would be a high possible 140s horse, maybe a low 150s if he's running an open company. He turns up here. I think he's a very, very good horse, 9-4, willing to go with the favourite.
Yep, I agree completely. Only thing you just wouldn't want to see for Vorsley is it turn into a bog. Don't think it will, but he's a horse that appreciates a bit of nicer ground, and that probably plays against some of the others as well. You know, the likes of Billaway probably wants a bit more cut in the ground. So I think Vorsley's the best horse in this race. I think he's improved. He keeps on improving. He's a younger horse as well. And the fact that he won it down Royal when I suspect he would have been 60-70% fit was a pretty good sign that this horse has a lot of quality.
I don't know where you sit on the mare's chase now because your horse, Scarlet and Dove, isn't going to be running. My nap of the Friday is Allegory de Vassy. I think at 11-8, I think she goes and wins. I like Impervious. I think she's a gallant mare. I don't think she's as good as Allegory de Vassy, who I think is special. 11-8 is a short enough price, but I just think it's a point and shoot job as long as she jumps 6-7 out of 10.
I wouldn't say that, no, to be honest. I agree that Allegory de Vassy maybe has the class edge over Impervious. I would be siding with Impervious myself. I think she's the more solid option. I think she jumps a lot better in terms of what we've seen so far. Allegory de Vassy was hair-raising at Thurles the last day, and I just remember we weren't sitting in these exact seats, but we were sitting here this time last year. Concertisa is a class act in the race. If she jumps 6-7 out of 10, she wins the race. It's a point and shoot job. She jumped 2 out of 10 and she finished 4th behind Pink Legend, Zambella, all of them. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen to Allegory de Vassy, but she's going to have to jump to her absolute best to beat Impervious, who's a very, very good mare in her own right. I think the two of them are well clear. Jeremy's Flame, really nice mare. Think she'll struggle to stay over 2.5 at Cheltenham. I just don't think she's as good as these two as well. I think these two are as good mares as we've almost ever seen in the mare's chase, I'd have said.
Rich Ritchie's had a plethora of really smart mares. I don't think she's as good as Annie Power, but I think she could be as good as Vroom Vroom Mag and Benny Deju. I think she is that good. She could win this race 3 or 4 years in a row. I'm very, very confident that she will go and win on Friday, the final race that we're going to preview. We never want it to come. Don't talk about the Martin Pipe, just because the moment it's over, that's it, it's done.
Yeah, I know, and we'll only be, taking another 2 days when we previewing the 2024 festival. But no, it's a hard one because you enjoy the Martin Pipe, but it is just that feeling of sadness. The only way it can be good is if you back the winner of the Martin Pipe, and then you just bring that throughout the year, saying, "Well, thank goodness the last time I was at the Cheltenham Festival, I backed a winner."
And the winner's going to be?
Well, I think it's hard because the horse I really like for the race is Cool Survivor, and Gordon is not doing the right thing for the right people. He's running the horse in the Albert Bartlett, so it seems. I can't get my head round it in the slightest. If he ran into the race, I think he's got a huge chance at 8-1. If you want to take 8-1 non-runner no bet, you're obviously getting your money back, and I think he'll be shorter if he does get confirmed to run in the race. If he doesn't run, the horse that I like, and also a lot of people will know SBW, a very, very shrewd man when it comes to handicap hurdles. His best bet of the week comes, and I agree with him completely, in the Martin Pipe, a horse called Firm Footings, also trained by Gordon Elliott. In the Colwell Construction colours, I reckon he'll be in the white cap. He'll be second string of Colwell, because Imagine will be the first string, but I think he has an enormous chance. Has ran in some really nice maiden hurdles, form working out, back up to 2.5 miles. He is 20-1. What more do people want than an SBW 20-1 nap?
And he is a very, very shrewd man. Every restaurant booked each night. The place staying in booked a year ago.
Yeah.
Just doesn't miss a beat, that man. He picks winners for fun. Commander of Fleet. Just
any handicap hurdle. He turned up to November. He backed Sweet Will in the first. He was backing horses in the. He backed the 1, 2, 3 in the Greatwood.
I think it's just a shame that it's not been shook down to his son.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I haven't got anything from him. I've got my mother's ability to tip a winner. Actually, she could probably tip an awful lot more winners than myself as well.
So. I'm joking. I don't really like anything in the Martin Pipe. I think if Cool Survivor runs, I'd probably back him. I've gone off Spanish Harlem. Don't think he's well handicapped off his mark. He might just be very slow. I don't think he's Gallop under Champ anyway. He might run a big race. He might place. He might go and win, but I just wouldn't be backing him at 11-2, whatever he is now, 5-2. So willing to let him go. If Cool Survivor runs, I'll back him each way, and that would be my way to go. Naps quickly.
My naps would be Vaucelet in there. I like Lossiemouth in there, and of course, when it comes down to the Albert Bartlett, we've got to get the big man, Xander Clegane.
2 naps for me on Friday. Vaucelet and Allegra di Bassi, 2 shorties, but I do think they're going to go and win. Thank you so much for all the support on the videos this year. It means an awful lot. We built around this festival specifically. We do have Aintree to come. We do have Punchestown, and we have some good racing at Fairy House as well. So do stick around on the channel. But thanks so much for the support. If you do like this video, please hit that like button. It massively helps us out. Thank you for all the comments throughout the year. We do appreciate them greatly, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll see you soon.